Big guns booming. An election campaign on steroids. BJP in pole position, hoping to script a historic saffron wave. Along with the Gujarat model, the BJP going back to basics. Amit Shah at a rally in Khambat Assembly constituency in Anand district listed demolition work done by the BJP in Muslim areas. Shah added, "Don't let Congress come to power or else communal riots will begin again and you will again face difficulty." Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma's Gujarat campaign raised the love jihad pitch, also raking the uniform civil code narrative.
तो ये आफ्ताब श्रद्धा का जो कांड हुआ, इस कांड से ये दोबारा प्रूव हुआ है कि देश को लव जिहाद का खिलाफ बहुत कड़ा कानून का जरूरत है। आपका डिस्ट्रिक्ट में क्राइम है, मेरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में लव जिहाद है। आपका और मेरा बीच में नजरिया का डिफरेंस है।
नहीं, पर फिर आप कांग्रेस को कहते हैं कि वो माइनॉरिटी अपीसमेंट करते तो वो कम्युनल पॉलिटिक्स करते, तो बीजेपी नहीं कर रही है।
बीजेपी किसको अपीस कर रहे हैं?
आप हिंदू कम्युनिटी को कह रहे बच के रहिए।
हिंदू तो ये देश का धरोहर है।
Be it giving tickets to relatives of riot convicts or refusing to backtrack on the premature release of Bilkis rapists. The BJP's campaign on the Hindutva tenets remains steadfast and indomitable. Hindutva aided with the Gujarat development model, tactful, ruthless cuts in ticket distribution. Can a lackluster Congress and the new entrant AAP stop the BJP juggernaut? Top focus on To The Point this evening. Not just hardcore Hindutva, viewers. Hardcore Hindutva, along with the promise of the Gujarat model, along with the promise of tri-engine Sarkar, which is Amit Shah, Narendra Modi and Bhupendra Patel, along with that is the promise of Hindutva. Now, with all of that, can this juggernaut be stopped by the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party? Let's quickly take it to our panelists. Joining me this evening, Satyen Kulbakar, spokesperson, Gujarat Bharatiya Janata Party; Anshul Abhijit, spokesperson, Congress; Ajay Umat, senior journalist, as well as Rajdeep Sardesai, our consulting editor. Rajdeep and Mr. Umat, I want to begin with you. Rajdeep, is just not hardcore Hindutva. It's hardcore Hindutva plus the promise of the Gujarat development model, and it's all got to do with also ruthless cutting of tickets and giving it to even turncoats from the Congress. Just a very smart strategy.
You know, this is BJP 360, which aims to do total domination of Gujarat, which will use whatever it takes to win an election. So you will do micromanagement at some level, as was being earlier discussed, put up even sponsor Muslim, local Muslims to cut into the votes of your political rivals. You will drop a number of sitting MLAs against whom your internal report suggests high amount of anti-incumbency. You will get certain candidates to withdraw at the last moment, as we saw with an AAP candidate in Surat. And yes, while you will talk, and the Prime Minister will talk about the Gujarat model when he goes there and try and seek votes in his name, you'll have the likes of Himanta Biswa Sarma with their political dog whistles that are aimed in a way at reminding the Hindu voters of Gujarat that, look, if we don't come to power, then the Muslims will have a share in power, some kind of a voice in the power structure. Raking up Aftab's case to suggest it, love jihad could happen tomorrow in Gujarat, or indeed bring out the fear that many Gujaratis have of the 1990s when the Congress was in power and there was a series of communal riots in and around Ahmedabad, and then suggest that if they return to power, God forbid, those riots will return. So somewhere this is strategic, but it is also communal dog whistle politics at one level, while also talking the politics of Vikas. So BJP wants to ensure that whatever it takes, they will monopolize the political narrative of Gujarat. So use the Hemanta Biswa Sarmas, the Yogi Adityanaths, the likes of Mr. Chaudhary, the union minister, who only yesterday suggested if the Congress wins, Pakistan will be happy and therefore you must vote for us. Look, in the last election, a fake report was put out that some army DG in Pakistan was pushing for Ahmed Patel to become Gujarat Chief Minister. Posters of this kind came up in Surat, or it was suggested that the Prime Minister, then former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, was engaged in some conspiracy with Pakistan. All of this is done to create a mahal which strengthens the Hindu vote bank. We talk of minority appeasement. This is clearly majority consolidation, and it's been going on in Gujarat now for more than 2 decades.
Classic playbook, Ajay Umat, you would think, because this time also Arvind Kejriwal wearing a skull cap, posters of that was splashed across many constituencies, especially in Surat and up north. All of that put together, would you think, is it expected that they had to go back to basics and come down to hardcore Hindutva? Wasn't just the promise of, the Gujarat development model, or classic astuteness on giving out tickets, ruthlessness, complete strategy at play there. Wasn't that enough, or was this all expected and will only drum up in days to come?
Look, Priti, BJP is not hiding anything, when it comes to Hindutva. So they are not giving a single ticket to any Muslim. So that is a clear-cut indication that, we are a Hindutva party. Okay, but look at the tragedy of Kejriwal, because Kejriwal thought that initially he tried to woo some Muslims, but then Muslims started asking questions to Kejriwal about Sahijganj, about Nizamuddin, about flogging of Muslim boys in Kheda district, about Bilkis Bano case, that why you were silent when remission took place in case of Bilkis Banu's rapist. Then they started asking that why you were silent when Tista Sitalwad case happened, why you were silent when this encroachment bulldozers were going on in Muslim areas, so-called legal, illegal. So Kejriwal has no answer, and on the top of it, during Diwali he said that the photos of Lakshmi ji and Ganpati ji should be published there. So BJP got advantage of Hindutva vote bank because everybody thinks that Modi and Amit Bhai is an iconic figure, and now Yogi also added to this. They are an iconic figure for Hindutva. But Muslim vote bank has gone to Congress party this time, and mind you, there are 24 constituencies in Gujarat where Muslim voters are considered to be a force to reckon with. They are ranging from 10 to 55% votes in Muslim constituency. That includes Daryapur, Jamalpur, Abdasa, Mandvi, Bhuj. There are 24 constituencies. So BJP, when they talk about vote bank politics in Khambat, Amit Bhai is talking about Article 370, Ram Mandir, Uniform Civil Code, then demolition took place in Dwarka, in Khambat, in Modasa, and then reminding them about riots that before 20 years there were riots, 256 days, there was no bank clearance. So a fear factor is also induced among the psyche of Hindus that if you don't vote for BJP, then remember that again that Latif Raj will come, because Amit Bhai is saying that there is no Gunda in Gujarat, no Dada in Gujarat, only Hanuman Dada will rule in Gujarat. So it is a clear-cut indication that fear factor also is very important. BJP is playing that card also beside Hindutva and Rashtravan.
Playing all possible cards. Satyan Kulabkar.
Winnability is the only. Winnability is the only criteria.
Visibility is the only criteria. All right. Satyan Kulabkar. Winnability. Yes, Mr. Umat, we got you. Satyan Kulabkar, क्या सब कुछ फीका पड़ गया है? गुजरात मॉडल की अगर बात करें, डेवलपमेंट, ट्रिपल इंजन सरकार, सब कुछ फीका पड़ गया है कि वापस हिंदू मुस्लिम पे आना पड़ रहा है भारतीय जनता पार्टी को?
Honorable Prime Minister was in Baroda right now. I just came from his rally, and that was the reason why I was late for say few minutes. In entire speech of Narendra Bhai, he never discussed anything what we were talking of. He discussed what Vikas model is, how he wants to take technology ahead, how he wants to make central Gujarat a hub, transport hub, automobile hub, a petroleum hub. So I don't know why this point is getting
Mr.
discussed.
Kulabkar, I'll tell you why. Narendra Modi is the poster boy for the Gujarat model, and then you have Amit Shah who will say that the minority, the houses of the minority population have been bulldozed. You have an Amit Shah who will say if you vote for the Congress, you will vote for riots, communal riots. Then you have a Himanta Biswa Sarma who will come out and actually spread fake news because Aftab hasn't said, at least to the investigating officer, that he killed Shraddha because she was a Hindu and he liked Hindu girls because they are emotional. But this was what was said by Himanta Biswa Sarma. So there are other political leaders who are saying it. Yes, the Prime Minister is not. The Prime Minister is talking development. But then it seems to be a double engine there. One is talking development, the other is going hardcore Hindutva.
If you listen to Amit Shah's statement, what he has said is anybody who is doing illegal activity will be demolished. One thing, what the reference of the point was, people there who were doing smuggling of drugs, who were doing illegal activities, their house were bulldozed. He has never mentioned a community or a caste. That is the one clarification that I need to give. Another thing is, yes, what he has spoken has a very valid point. That if you vote for Congress, because Gujarat has seen riots before 2002 in day-to-day, in every second-day life. Any Ganpati procession, there will be stone peddling, there will be curfew, there will be tear gas, there will be mob. Why the respect that we have got? It is because we have brought a lot of peace and harmony in the state of Gujarat. We have always spoken of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Prayas. So we have never got into anything like this. Yes, and I'll also agree to Amit Shah saying...
But Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has openly said that the BJP is appeasing the majority. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'll come back to you, sir. I will come back to you. I'll bring in Anshul Avijit into this conversation. Anshul Avijit, Himanta Biswa Sarma also called your leader looking like Saddam Hussein in his new look. What does it tantamount to? They're clearly dominating the narrative. And your silent campaign is not matching up.
So you want us really to answer to that cheap and degraded jibe? I mean, how should I answer for it? You know, if somehow you are saying that a beard, sporting a beard is somehow roguish, then perhaps he's well advised to look at members of his own party, and the most famous of them lot who sport a beard. You know, so such kind of comments will not get anywhere. We are running a very dignified, sedate and committed campaign. Whether we say statements like that or not really besides the point. You know, they will always stoop to conquer. They've said all kinds of statements. By the way, what is happening in those demolitions, they were served notices while their houses were being demolished. It is not that they were served notices before. This is clear attempt at polarization. And, you know, you put it, Preeti, that you've come back to basics. The BJP never deviated from their basics in any kind of election. Their slogan of Vikas is just an empty, bogus slogan. It's a complete eyewash, particularly in Gujarat, where there is rampant cronyism, where there's this brute kind of capitalism, where there's shameless profiteering, in which the Morbi tragedy is a clear outcome of that. They're clearly on the back foot after Morbi and about that kind of searing indictment by the High Court. To the government in Gujarat over there. No resignations, not even an apology. Things just go on as usual.
But you know, that's the point.
That is because of the
Mr. Avijit, I'll bring in Rajdeep Sardesai here because yes, nothing has quite happened and the indictment has only come from the courts and not from the opposition. Your leader should have been in Morbi the day it happened. But, you know, that aside, I'll go back to Rajdeep Sardesai and to, you know, Rajdeep, it would have been different if it was only about Hindutva. It's not just only about Hindutva. The BJP is firing on all cylinders.
Look, it's election time. You know, this is, the BJP today is a juggernaut, especially in Gujarat. Gujarat is a state where the BJP has penetrated right down to the smallest villages of Gujarat. And they will do whatever it takes to win an election. You know, we can in studio say this is Sam, Dam, Danda, Bhed. Why are you referring to Pakistan when the election is in Gujarat? Why don't you tell us why 22 papers have been leaked in the last 8 years? Why don't you tell us why Anganwadi workers were not paid their salaries? Why don't you tell us why the Maldhari community of pastoralists, their Mahapanchayat has raised question marks over, you know, the way the government is run? Why is it that the dairy producers in some parts of Gujarat are upset? These are all questions that will be raised. there are concerns at different levels within different groups in Gujarat, as they were in 2017 among shopkeepers because of GST, in the aftermath of demonetization, small and medium micro enterprises who were affected, the Patidar unrest, OBC unrest. This time what's happened, the BJP, for example, has been very careful about farmers. The groundnut farmers and the cotton farmers, they've ensured that the minimum support price has been raised. So I think the BJP is clear that they will address every constituency, including the hard Hindutva constituency. At election time, they will use an Amit Shah or a Hemanta Biswa Sarma, Yogi Adityanath to play the role of these hard Hindutva warriors, while the Prime Minister plays the role of Vikas Purush and says, look at the industry I'm bringing to Gujarat, look at the economic development. So they are Hydra-headed in Gujarat. Different heads, not double engine. This is an engine that works with 10 different drivers, and it just depends which driver is there at a particular speech, and that makes the BJP a complete machine in a way in Gujarat. Very difficult, therefore, for the opposition to combat it.
Fair point. Mr. Ummat, the fact is, what about real issues? Some of them that Rajdeep also pointed out. Let's even talk about Morbi, the fact that, a South Korea leader, the Prime Minister, will bow down, apologize for what happened in that state. Until now, all we see are the lowest hanging fruits that have been caught. Nothing, no apology, nothing. Belligerence on that front. Do you think the surround sound is enough to mask all of that?
Pretty nothing will happen, because the owner of that Oreva is a Patidar community leader, and BJP does not want to antagonize. And like what happened in Lakhimpur Kheri, BJP will win Morbi also, and we all will discuss this. That what happened in Hush tragedy or what happened in Morbi tragedy, nothing will happen. BJP knows how to do micro management. They did not give ticket to that minister who belonged to Morbi constituency. They had given ticket to Kanti Amrutia, who swung into the river and tried to save some people, and at least could made a video. So they are, BJP is doing everything. They feel that, love, war and election, everything is fair. You bring 19 ton votes from Congress party, give them ticket, because, they can win election. So there is no rule like 75 years to Yogesh Patel in Vadodara, you will give ticket to him because, he can only win election in Majalpur constituency. You will give it to Kuvarji Bawalia or Jayesh Radadia because, they belong to a Koli community. So caste factor is also there, communal factor is also there, and plus, they are going Patidar community, and on the top of it, they will talk about vote bank politics, that, you are doing appeasement to Muslims. And unfortunately, Congress senior leaders are treating Gujarat like poor Cinderella. They are simply not bothered. In case of Cinderella, finally she could find out her prince. In case of Gujarat, prince came only once. So this is unfortunate in Gujarat that, people saying that, even if I look for option, there is no option. Price rise is a big issue. Unemployment is a big issue. Paper leakages frequently is also a big issue. Contractual jobs is another issue. But farmers are not getting minimum support price is an issue. Human development index is an issue. But then you need somebody, to raise such issues and to go to people. Kejriwal comes with, lot of promises in his pockets, and people in Gujarat are very smart in doing, budgeting. They feel that, the total budget of Gujarat is 2.43 lakh crore, and Kejriwal has offered them freebies of 3.50 lakh crore. So this is also utter nonsense. So, people in Gujarat think that there is a China factor, that there is no alternative to Modi. And that's the reason that, people in Gujarat, 10 seaters, they also ultimately give vote to Modi.
Well, you're right, there's a 75-year factor. The Vadodara candidate of the BJP has got the ticket over 75. Prem Kumar Dhumal didn't get the ticket because he was over 75. But Anshul, Abhijit, the big question right now, especially in Saurashtra, is that there is an anti-incumbency wave, but it's not against the BJP, it's against the Congress, where you've proven to be an ineffective opposition. You swept it 2017, you're losing every bit of it, they say now.
No, that's what you're saying. Our campaign is not the kind of vociferous, this political point scoring campaign. It's a positive campaign. We've spoken about no sort of contracts in jobs. We've spoken about jobs. We have a number of promises. We are relying on our ability to deliver and fulfill our promises, like we've done in Rajasthan, where we've got an urban MNREGA scheme. So if we say something, we deliver it. We've done it in Chhattisgarh.
So you're confident of delivering on a silent campaign. Let's see if that happens. Satyen Kulkar, one question which I guess the entire panel will ask you, which was raised by Mr. Umat. Why is it that the owner of Areva still hasn't been caught? Does it have to do with his partidar antecedents?
There is an entire procedure which has taken up. But before answering your question, I would like to say what Congress has been doing, what Anshul has been saying. He has been using certain words which I don't think so are on a national TV or a debate should be used. But they should understand that where they are going.
Please tell Mr. Hemant, Mr. Sarma that the kind of words he should use.
Okay.
He's the Chief Minister of a state.
Okay, no, 1 second. Okay, let's not heckle. Let's not get into heckling. Let him answer. Go ahead, Mr. Kulba.
Please continue in case if you want to, because when I talk, I expect that people should not talk. This is what problem with Congress is. They are here. They should introspect, but they are interrogating.
So what is the introspection that the BJP is doing? Is the owner of Areva not been arrested because he's partidar?
BJP has already worked hard for 27 years. The results this time will show what Bharatiya Janata Party is going to do, and they are heading towards a landslide victory in the state of Gujarat.
Well, I would think a lot would, Rajdeep, last word to you. Do you agree they're heading towards a landslide victory no matter what right now, the way they are poised?
I'm not going to use the word landslide, but I said it on your program a few days ago. BJP को गुजरात में हराना मुश्किल है, almost नामुमकिन है at the moment. The BJP occupies so much of mind space in Gujarat that actually challenging them is tough, and the rise of AAP in a strange way might change the arithmetic to even benefit the BJP further in 2022.
All right, with that I'm going to end the show.